Oh, not anymore. Ed, where'd you go? Hello?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Index Show. I'm your host, ADV. Joining me is my good man, the streaming champion, Mr. Ray Williams.
Hello?
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. Actually feeling really good. Considering my antics last night, I feel great.
Yes. It's a black team production right now.
Yeah, that's right. The boys are running the show today. That's right.
Corey and Jesse weren't able to make it. Jesse's definitely joined his vacation. So happy that he hasn't been like really texting and showing pictures and stuff. I'm like, you go enjoy vacation. And Boss Man is doing some work. He's still behind the scenes doing the production and everything. So those guys not going to be on this episode. But me and Ray, we literally just had a great talk about Gears 5.
Oh, yes.
It is a little bit spoilerific, I will say.
It's very spoilerific.
Yes, but we really had a great time. Me and Ray did finish Gears 5. So you guys may probably be able to hear about that on the after show. You guys hopefully Corey will be able to show it to you guys without him like fully hearing it or being like discouraged or anything, because him and Jesse hasn't finished it yet. But I think this one
Slackers.
I think they're trying to play it together. They're trying to
do it. Yeah, I get it. Lives and stuff, and trying to coordinate schedules. I get it.
Yes.
Making me sound selfish for wanting to just finish it myself.
Well, I already knew I was going to go playing this game. But yeah, we really had a great discussion. And Ray could pretty much agree with me. Like, this is definitely one of Microsoft's best first-party games. If you feel like it's a first-party exclusive, that's fine. But I think it's one of their best, and it definitely deserves the Game of the Year. I will say that I don't think it deserves the 8.75s. I really would give this game a straight 9.
I also gave it a straight 9. Like, honestly, it did everything right for me. I really enjoyed the story. The game played really well. The music was awesome, and it looks fantastic. Did I say it looks fantastic? It looks great. So yes, those are my pillar points. That's what I need.
I even with some of the problems that I have with it, I would literally give this a 5 out of 5 Yoshi coins. Like, without a shadow. All right. Like that is definitely a 1-up. Like,
so this is one of the games where I'm like, if you are on Xbox or PC, it's kind of a must play, I think. But I had the conversation a lot, Ed, because I streamed this game, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I haven't played Gears since 2," and I'm like, that's okay. This is a good game to play, and I think they do a decent enough job with the story and kind of recapping things that you don't really need to have played 2 or 3. Well, actually, need to have played at least 1 or 2 Gears games to even like kind of have an idea what's going on. But if you haven't played 4, that's okay. You can literally just pick up this game. It'll explain it to you, and you're fine, I think.
Yes, that is true. I kind of feel like the regular Gears trilogy has nothing to do with this new Gears, but I understand playing. I think playing 3 also, just to say that you got the whole full story with the trilogy,
right.
And then you could do 4, 5. I feel like playing all of them and a little bit of judgment if you want to get some of the backstory, if you care about narrative. If you just care about
1,000% agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. If you just feel like having some dumb fun, start with 4, go jump into this one and watch the recap.
Fun. That's exactly right. I 100% agree with that. Yep.
But we're gonna get into some housekeeping. Welcome to the NX Show, your source for video game news, analysis, and other shenanigans. You can catch us here on Twitch.tv, the NX Show, or on codenamenx.com/live every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for pre-show, followed by the podcast. If you can't join us live, no big deal. You can head on over to codenamenx.com, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or your podcast service of choice on Tuesday mornings for a full edited show to consume. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the NX Show and like the NX Project's Facebook page. You can also join our Facebook group when it's not a secret group. We will be updating you on content in the coming weeks, and as we have a few cool things planned, such as y'all know the business. Just a lot of stuff is coming. If you have any questions, you can tweet at us. Look for the question thread in our Facebook community or email us at contact@codenamenx.com. We'll also be taking live questions in the Twitch chat and the Mixer chat. And of course, if you guys are all seeing this one is not going to be live, but it's a recorded episode. But we do have questions that we are going to tackle. So cannot wait to get to them. Remember, you can find all of our content on codenamenx.com, including all of our videos, old content, reviews, blogs, live streams, and more. And just to give everybody heads up, I apologize for the Beauty of Video Games Volume 5 kind of being delayed. I will be uploading past week blogs and new blogs and stuff, and I will be updating the podcast for you guys to be listening to. Corey had to work on some of the websites, and so I made a decision to hold it back while he worked on them and until I got the okay. So by the time you guys see this episode, there should be the past week blogs and then some new blogs up, and then the second part of the podcast of the Beauty of Video Games for Optional Opinion will be up on SoundCloud. But hopefully everybody got to check out the first part with my good friend Benji. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that episode. Up this next one is with my good friend Eric M. Hunter. We really had a great discussion about feelings. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this podcast. This project. But we're going to get into some gaming get downs. But before we get there, Ray has kind of jumped into something that I didn't expect him to jump into that he wanted to discuss. So Ray,
Yes.
break down this Apple Arcade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apple Arcade. So we had the Apple event where they revealed the new iPhones and whatever other stuff they're going to make you pay a ton of money for. But one thing that they did not ask you to pay a ton of money for was Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade is one of their newest services. Yes, another subscription. I'm sorry. But it's a subscription to a bunch of high quality mobile games via the App Store that all work offline, which is fantastic and one of the selling points for me, honestly, because usually when I want to play a mobile game, it's somewhere where I don't have good service or don't have any service. So it's nice to be able to play a game that I don't have to have service for. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But the real kicker, it's $5.99, Ed. $5.99 for a family subscription to this.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yes. So if I had a family and they all had iPhones, everybody could be using this for $5.99 a month. So I will say that the quality of games on this is actually really high. I downloaded Sayonara Wild Hearts, and it is one of the coolest mobile experiences I've had, period, with my phone in the game.
Which everybody, the game is also available on Nintendo Switch. That's where I have it at, but I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, it's on Nintendo Switch. It's on PS4. It's fantastic. But the fact that I could just pay $5.99 a month and have that game and a plethora of other games, mind you, to play is fantastic. I'm on the trial right now. So anybody who with an iPhone, you can start the free trial of Apple Arcade. And there are so many games to try. I feel like this and Xbox Game Pass do the thing that I feel like everybody should attempt at some point, and it's just a subscription service without all the junk, honestly. I don't feel like it's pushing anything on me. I don't feel like I don't have to buy anything outside of the money I'm spending on this service to play these different games. And that matters. It's put together well. There's a lot of different games to try. Like Oceanhorn 2 is on this service, and I would have never tried Oceanhorn 2. But it's also here. And
which is weird because it's not on none of the consoles or PC. I think it's only on Apple Arcade.
At least for now.
Yes.
So I'm like, this is another way for a lot more developers to have their games be seen by millions of people, because we know that the install base for iPhones is much higher than consoles. So this is an excellent opportunity for some devs to get their games out there and try something different. Honestly, I am impressed, and I hope that it just continues to show the value that it is at $5.99 a month. That's insane to me. So I don't know. I like it. I've been having a good time, and so I talked about Sayonara Wild Hearts. I just want to just take a quick peek. I downloaded 3 games. So Sayonara Wild Hearts. I also downloaded a game called Hot Lava, which is by Keel Entertainment, where you literally they took the concept of the floor is lava, the game we played as a kid, and turned it into a game, and it's actually pretty okay. The controls are weird for a phone, but this also has given me the opportunity to try games that also are available on different platforms. Mm-hmm. And if I like them here, I might be more inclined to buy them, kind of like Hot Lava. And then I also downloaded Grindstone, which I need to play. I haven't actually seen it yet, but a lot of people recommended it. So I don't know. It's really cool now. They're like, oh yeah, I'm playing this game. Everybody should try it. And if you have Apple Arcade, you can. It's a good time for video games. This is not something we didn't need this service, and it also came out at a really weird time because we're at the height of video game season. But it's fantastic, and I would encourage you to try it if you do have an iPhone.
Yes. I think my only thing was just like, these are not arcade. These are like indie mobile games. I'm like, arcades used to be where you put in a quarter.
I mean, well, see, the term is evolving, and I completely understand that. But it's like, I feel like arcade is such a friendly term for video games, and that's why I think they use it.
Yes. I have an iTouch 5. I'm not gonna knock Apple Arcade or anything. I know it's not a service for me, not because not the Apple product or anything. I think it's gonna be one of those like, okay, show up on Switch and I'll get it there.
Mm-hmm.
On Xbox or PlayStation, I'll get it there. I feel like if I'm going to play your game, and it has value, I want to reward you as a company. And I think if I just outright buy your game, I feel like I would get more content from you as a company because you deliver something. You deliver some good entertainment value to me. But this is good for people who are on a train, who don't have a Switch or any kind of like gaming platform to use.
Right.
Download these, see how much space they got, and give those games a go, and let them fill up the time that you feel like when you gotta wait for something.
Right, and I mean, it's just, I also like, because sometimes I just like to not carry anything but my phone, and so this is nice to have that option. Honestly.
Yes. So, $5.99, and that's a really great deal for a subscription model like that. They're already starting people off with 50 games. It's a free trial beta. I don't know how long the free trial is.
Neither do I, but I'm sure it'll charge me one day. I'll be like, oh, that's when that's supposed to come out.
But I mean, I'm happy for it. I and by reading a lot of reports and a lot of people's social media on Twitter, like.
And by the way, I misspoke. It is $4.99 a month, which is even better.
$4.99. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Reading a lot of people's tweets and stuff about it, they say it's really, really good.
So, by the way, I just want to kind of give you the rundown of what it actually is.
Yeah.
So you can get a month free trial. It is $4.99 a month. You get unlimited access to 100+ new games rolling out this fall. You get access for up to 6 family members. 6. All these games are ad free. There's no additional purchase necessary for any of these games. You can start playing on one device. So say I'm playing on my phone. and then I get home and I'm like, I'll play this on my iPad. I can literally pick it up on my iPad and play the same game. You can download them to play offline, like I talked about. Um, you can decide whether to share your personal data because that's a big thing for them. And it works with screen time and parental controls, which is also awesome. You can limit the time that people, like your kids, are using it. So I feel like this is a cool thing for families. I really do think so.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely when small kids are out, and because they don't have a switch light or anything. But if they're out and their mom or dad gets them the phone to keep them busy and stuff, I think these games would keep them like,
Yeah, and they have a bunch to try.
Yeah, they really do. Like I said, it's not for me because of like Switch and all these other games on these other platforms. But I am happy that the service is up and running, and hopefully people who are not gamers, who are casual gamers, or who like need something to fill the void, that Apple Arcade will be that. Don't want to say placeholder, would be that service that would get them into playing video games or games in general.
It's another way for people to play video games, and that makes me happy. More people playing video games is what I want. So this is good.
Yes, we'll probably see people streaming it. I don't know how that work, but
yeah,
I can see that. I can see that. So, is that all, Ray?
Yeah, that's it for Apple Arcade for me. If anybody has any other comments or any other questions about Apple Arcade, I'm more than willing to talk about it. So yeah, just let me know. What are you playing on Apple Arcade? Have you tried it? Tell me why Sayonara Wild Hearts is incredible, because it is.
Yes, I can't wait till I start this game and hear this music. We have a lot of games to get down to. So Ray, I'm gonna get start with you. What games have you been getting down to?
So I've been getting down on quite a few things. So like I said, I finished Gears 5. I also finished Fire Emblem Three Houses finally. Oh my God. First playthrough, and I think that's going to be my only playthrough. I'm satisfied with what I got. See, also, I just recently started Link's Awakening, and it's exactly what I wanted / needed. It's so good. I love it. What else did I start? I started the demo for Dragon Quest XI because that comes out next Friday, and it's probably one of my most anticipated games of the year. So I will be playing that a bunch. Like I said, I've been playing these mobile games, so Sayonara Wild Hearts is also on that list now. And I think really right now, besides the Call of Duty beta, that's pretty much it.
Is it live?
Yes, the Call of Duty beta is live.
Okay, because I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it on Xbox.
Yeah, it's definitely live now. And it's cross-platform play already. So for the beta, which is a huge step, and it works.
Because I wanna download it for PS4 and I want to download it for One, and I want to play both of them and just hop in a match. It's just experience what it is. I don't care about winning or anything. I want to see how it runs and how it feels on it. It's just like enjoy myself. I just didn't get to see where it was downloadable at Xbox.
Yeah, well, get ready to be a little salty because people. It's Call of Duty. People are good at Call of Duty. So I played it on PS4 so far. I have a code. I downloaded it on PC. I'm gonna try it on PC this weekend and see how it feels compared to PS4, and we'll see. We'll go from there. And then I would love to talk about that next week.
Yeah,
actually, next week I'll be out of town because I'll be at TwitchCon. I just remembered that. Oh no! So we'll figure that out.
Oh, don't worry because I have a rehearsal next Saturday. So,
okay then. So I guess we're here this weekend and they're here next weekend.
Yes, pretty much. But we'll all will be back in October because I actually not going to have questions in 2 more weeks. I have to tell Corey about that. I kind of want to have a big discussion because and it's literally going to deal about there was shout out to Xbox Drive with Sean Cabri and can I think of his name? Insipid Gamer. I cannot think of your name, so forgive me. They were asking a question about what feature should Scarlet have to like really sell people on the system. And my response to that question was one of the community's listeners sent in the question. And one of my things was just like, I would love for Xbox to show you a backlog slash conquered status of a game. So when you get to a game, let's say Metal Gear 6, for instance, and it shows that you have 49% of the game done or anything, and it shows you what you have completed, not so much achievements but what you actually have completed, and they'd be like, you're ready to start level 6, go
Hmm.
from here, or you have beaten the game on normal. here?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I just don't see you.
You disappeared on me for a second. I was like, what the heck just happened?
It's Skype as always.
It should be on now. Yeah, it is.
There you go. You are coming to frame.
Yes.
I did finish Gears 5.
Oh, good.
So,
yeah. Tell me how'd you feel about it. How'd that make you feel?
It felt like you're trying to go for the Final Fantasy VII sympathy, and it didn't really matter because it failed on the level of that. Okay, I understand you guys are going to kill you're going to kill Dale off, but you guys are going to make a decision where JD is somewhat dead. I feel like there's going to be a leech or something that's going to come into their body. This is a possibility because it's Gears. It's not actually going to be anything truth or anything. That one of the characters that you chose to die or they officially killed off, that they're going to actually bring back with some emotion or something, like something got into their body and brought them back to life. That's a possibility. Other than that, I think they're going to kill Dale off because he doesn't really play a big role in Gears 5.
I mean, he's more of the actual emotional support for Kate, which is why I think he's important.
But he's important in that way, but then they failed they should have built that up in Gears 4. And they should have did what they did in Gears 5 for Gears 4 and then don't kill JD or anything or have that choice. But there's something about, I think Gears 5 should have been Gears 4 and Gears of War 4 should have been Gears 5.
Nah, I don't feel like that. I feel like 4 did the good thing of setting this up, kind of like we've talked about before. It did the New Hope deal. It's kind of like the Star Wars thing where it's like, okay, we're continuing on our universe with, new protagonists and, we're going to introduce you to them and they have a new story that we're going to tell in this universe.
But it's a waste of time and a waste of a story to introduce 2 new characters and then you have a decision just to kill them off in the next game. That doesn't make sense. Gears of War 4 was supposed to actually in some way be about the swarm and somehow that turned into the locust or whatever. It's supposed to be Kate's story from what it's supposed to be, but then it becomes JD's side story because Marcus Phoenix got caught. And then we'll focus back on Kate. And it's just like you can't have. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to have 2 parents from 2 characters to be saved. Which one is more important? And you guys made the decision that Marcus Phoenix is more important than Kate's mom. Because what you did with Kate's mom, that end is supposedly led to Gears 5, but then it's just like once Marcus Phoenix got caught, you forgot about the whole story about Kate's mom. You as JD, you get the coalition. I'm about to say Gearbox. The coalition made JD feel like Marcus was more important than Kate's mom in the middle section of that game, and that is a waste of time for me. If you're going to say that this game should have focused on Kate should have been the main character in Gears 4. And JD and Dale should have been the side characters with whatever situation they're on. Because you really don't need Marcus Phoenix. Because he doesn't really do anything. Because you take him out halfway through the game of Gears 4. He doesn't play a part in Gears 5 besides being a narrator or kind of just like talk to you and stuff. So like, what is the important role now of Marcus Phoenix? He already had his adventure in 3 games.
So I'll put it to you like this: Marcus Phoenix is a cornerstone of the series, and that's why he's still important.
but now it feels like because the way that JD dies, or your choice to make him die, now it feels like Marcus Phoenix is a Dom character, which now it's going to be another waste because now you're going to kill off Marcus because he can't deal with the fact that JD is dead.
We don't know if that's the choice that the series is going to make.
That's what it's leading to, because Dom didn't have to die in part 3 over his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, to me personally, that was all stupid. Like, you don't have, I'm like, you guys created Cliff Bleszinski and them created Dom. You know, yeah, you was all about your wife and stuff, and you know, you had to kill her and everything and stuff. But I'm just like, there is no way that you will put him in the game. His sacrifice don't really play a part or anything. I mean, it's set up to play a part, but I'm like, you still could have helped out the Gears, and you still could have brought peace to the land and did that in honor of your wife. You could have still been living.
Well, I'll tell you right now, this isn't a universe where everything comes up, you know, Millhouse for anybody. Nobody. I think that's what they're also establishing. Like, this isn't a universe where good things happen. Nothing good is happening in the Gears universe.
Well,
they've marginally scraped by. That's it.
Well, that is true, but then I look at it from a narrative perspective to be like, this is stupid. Like, this doesn't play no point in what the story and what emotion that you're trying to go for.
I wouldn't say that it's stupid. I would say that it is paced. The pacing is a little strange. I mean, I like that they try to tell different stories for the different characters. Not everybody gets the appropriate amount of time for the story to be fleshed out, specifically JD in this one. I kind of feel like they used him as kind of protagonist, you know, / antagonist in this for a little bit, but it didn't really matter because we didn't really get the true antagonist in the game until almost the end of the game, which was the hard part. Up until then, it was them learning more about Kate, who is the star of the story, which I appreciated.
Which she's supposed to be the star of Gears 4. So that's why I feel like
I don't think so. I don't think that she was supposed to be the star of Gears 4.
But the story
they didn't make her into the star until this game, and I think they planned that.
But they started off Gears 4 making Kate's story and her mom, her being kidnapped,
more interesting. Yes, it's the most interesting. It's definitely more interesting than everybody else's story.
Not more interesting, but the setup of what the next Gears series is going to be about.
Yeah,
you're introducing JD. That's fine, but he really don't have no story. When you start your premise off with Gears,
I mean, his story is that he's Marcus Phoenix's son. That's literally his story,
and that's it. But so why does Kate have a bigger story and supposed to be set off for when you're supposed to be making Marcus' son JD the next?
You want to know? You want to know why, Ed? You want to know why? Because we've had stories where women have just been used as props for ages, and guess what? Guess what? Now that we have a female character that is the center of the story, the man does not have to be the center of the story. He can also be just used as a prop, which doesn't make it better, but definitely shows that it can be done.
I think it would have been better. I think it would have been better, but start Gears 4 with Kate being the main character, and you're focusing more on her journey.
So they were using JD and Marcus as selling points for the series, which I understand them doing. You want to get people who are nostalgic for the series to come back and try something different. That's not easy.
I think people would have went to Gears because they are just a fan of the series and they want to see what the gameplay is.
I don't know, man. You would think that people would have watched that new Star Wars because they were a fan of the series. That's not always true.
No, that is true. I wish I need to watch the last two. I haven't watched 8 and I gotta go see 9. Yeah, I didn't watch 8.
That's all good. So like I said, it's things are changing, things are different, and they're trying new things, which I appreciate. And I like that they're trying something different with this story, for real. I really liked the first two Gears games. I did, but I feel like 4
they're good.
Made it better for me. personally, I thought 4 was one of the better games because it was different.
I actually think 5 is better.
No, 5 is much better.
I like from let me like story wise, yes, I love 5. I love the fact that 5 is challenging. That is not it really isn't cover based anymore. You really had to be strategic, go in with the right weapons, and really if you're going to have another human playing with you online, you both need to be on the same level and communicate. This is no more hide and seek, pop and stop and pop stuff. They are aggressive. I love that.
I like that. The AI in this game is good. I like it.
Yes. What I don't like is if you die, you got to do that whole battle, because that ice monster, the Shuriken, I had to fight him almost 14 times.
I mean, but that means that there's the challenge, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I'm like, this is good.
But I don't like the fact that you got to keep. Like, you could have 2 more hits and be done with them, and his whole energy comes back because the camera messed up, or Dale got in your way while you was trying to run, or the
fair enough,
or the control, like, because I'm just like, I'm close to defeating him, and because Dale got in my way, or somehow the camera just decided to drink a fifth of rum and just got drunk, went somewhere and lost where my character was at, and then it killed me. And I had to do that 15-minute fight all over again.
I mean, the checkpoints could have been done a little better. Yeah, you're right. But it also you talked about being prepared for battles and what you needed to get it done. I mean, that also did matter. If you didn't have the right weapons, I mean, because I went into a few fights where it's like, oh, all I have is these SMGs. I should have definitely had something that wasn't this, and or I go into an area where they're like, hey, we're giving you a bunch of shotguns because you're probably gonna need a shotgun, and I'm like, I don't want a shotgun, and then I get through it and I'm like, man, I really wish I had a shotgun.
Little monsters.
Goodness gracious. So I mean, yeah, they definitely could have. The checkpoints could have been better, honestly. But I would say it just depends on what difficulty level you were playing on that you were comfortable with.
I played it on normal.
Which one was that? Is that experience? Because that's the one I think.
Immediate.
Intermediate. I think so. We played. Well, I started with a group of friends and we were playing on the highest difficulty. By the way, don't do that unless you really, really, really want to do it, because the game is very difficult. Then you take so much damage in a very short amount of time. I was like, wow, okay. And then so we bumped it down one, still a little bit of a challenge. And I think we ended up on that one. We were playing on the experienced one for a bit, and it was a little bit more tolerable. Like, oh, I can actually play this and still have a good time, rather than like having to seriously like play the game. I mean, then I continue my playthrough on the normal one as well, because I want the story. That's why I'm playing Gears. Like the cover-based shooting, the best it's ever felt. But yes, I'm also there for the story.
Yes, and like I said, the story was whatever it is. It was really good. I really liked the story. I liked the chapter, and I think that's why I felt like this needed to be Gears 4, and Gears 4 could have been Gears 5. That way, because you would have found out what's going on, and then you could somewhat focus on JD. Like I think have the first part of what happens with JD, with Gears 4. Don't let Marcus get like kidnapped, but then have the beginning of this Gears 5, and then go from there, where he switched to being this main person. And I already said that he's jumpier than ever when his head was cut off. I'm like, dang, and he put on some muscle. I'm like, what the world?
I want everybody put on muscle again.
Yeah. And then have it like that, and then have it where JD is trying to get back in the good grace of Dale and Kate, and with Marcus, with everybody, with Barry and stuff, and then just I feel like don't have the kidding off part. I think I would have saved that for Gear 6 for the trilogy.
I kind of feel like this was the best place for that, to be completely honest with you, because it lets you know that they are making more serious changes going forward in the story.
But then it's just like, do we have to really deal with Foz? Like,
I think that character's changing. He had growth through the story, which is what I was worried he wouldn't. I was worried he wouldn't grow, and he definitely did.
I think he grew. I think because they're gonna kill off Dale if they don't do the immersion thing.
I don't know. I feel like killing off JD is more impactful to the story.
I no, because Marcus was just like, we gotta still continue this war.
And oh no, Ed. Marcus his whole entire character changes after he finds out that his son is dead.
Well, yeah, for that short bit of time.
The entire time that that character is completely different.
With
even at the end.
With that choice. Reason why I say that at that time, because he just like, come on, we got to keep going. And that's not saying that he didn't care or anything, but it's just like the same cutscenes and stuff were used after you get into the game and you end it. So it didn't matter at that point if you chose Dale or JD. They still had the same.
Have you seen both, or is it exactly the same?
I seen both. Yeah. And it kind of shows off that, Marcus is still hugging his son. There is a little bit different animation, but there's nothing narrative going. You just see Marcus, feeling that way, and then they get into that group hug.
So there's extra dialogue when it's JD.
It's different dialogues because Foz is affected by Dale's death.
Gotcha.
And JD and Marcus just like, we got to go on and we got to continue this journey. So it was just like cutscene stuff. Nothing more after that. It's like the same thing that happens and everything.
Okay. So I mean, I guess at that point, it's like you wish that they had done just a tiny bit more. But I get it. Like games are hard to make.
Well, yes, that is true. I just feel like that sacrificing part would have been good for Gear 6.
I feel like at that point, I feel like it's too late, honestly.
Well, only because now you got to introduce a new character, or you got to move Foz in. But I feel like that would have. I feel like, keeping JD, Dale, Kate, Foz, Marcus, keep them all together to really go into that final battle. And then pacing out how characters are going to die or survive in Gear 6 would have been kind of a cliche story, but that change of Marcus losing JD in front of him and not where he couldn't see it, I think that would be more impactful. And if that is more impactful, that JD dies, Marcus would die also. You don't want to kill your main, like the one that really sells the series with Marcus, but I'm just like, Marcus Phoenix has to die sometime, and his sacrifice would be more beneficial to the story than JD's, in a sense. JD's sacrifice would have been like, I did this more out of heroism and the team in the world, instead of I just see my son die and I'm going to kill myself.
So what you're saying is, so I guess what I'm getting from you when I'm listening to you talk about this is you wish that it had been a character choice rather than a third party making the choice about who died.
I would have saved, not really. I would have saved that kind of narrative, that kind of design of that game for Gear 6.
I don't know. I feel like at that point, because I feel like I am still a part of the team that I could see the end of this series being where everybody dies. There's no good ending in this. I could totally see that happening. And then they leave it up to the people who are saved, and they have to start over, and that's just kind of the interpretation of the universe. I can see everybody dying in this, everybody, because this is a very cruel universe that it's all messed up. It's all bad for everybody. Like I cannot foresee a good ending, and if they do push a good ending for Gears, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. I really don't.
They're gonna push it. They're gonna push a good ending because they're actually. I think they're gonna kill Queen Raina, or they're gonna kill this mother, or somehow the mom that because is the new queen now her mom, or okay.
Well, it's the shell of her mom. It's not really her mom. It's the hive has picked a host, and that host is her mom.
So because I feel like her mom is still in there and stuff, I think her mom is going to make a decision of killing herself to end it. I think something is going to click. Some part of humanity is still in her mom.
Maybe.
So Gear 6, and that's why I feel like Gear 6 now could go anywhere, and I would have saved that death part for 6.
I mean, I'm more curious now that what they're going to do with the death. Like, I feel like it's going to build into something interesting. It's what I'm hoping. So that I'm not going to disagree with you and say, oh yeah, they shouldn't have done that, because I don't know. I think that I thought it was a little bit of a shock. I was not anticipating this series doing that right now, and so I'm like, oh, especially with 2 major characters for the story, and I guess I want to see how they're going to decide on how to move forward. What's going to be canon with this going forward. I don't know.
And that's why I felt like that's why I feel like this game should have been 4 should have been mixed in with some parts of 5, and then whatever happens in 6, because I'm just like, first of all, I didn't really get to build a relationship with Dell, and I didn't really get to build a relationship with JD. I built a relationship with Kate because of 4 and 5.
Right, and
the story,
and I think that's okay. I think that they're putting all this focus on Kate for a reason. They want you to get to know Kate. They want you to empathize and sympathize with her, and I get it. I do.
Narrative and games. I will say that this is. I will say this is. I will agree with a lot of people. One of Xbox's best first-party games. I want to call it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still the argument that I had with Ray, with my other friend Ray, and a whole bunch of people.
Wow, there's another Ray. I'm upset. Okay, that's fine.
I still agree that this is one of Microsoft's probably best first-party games.
It is
for the platform. I wouldn't call it an exclusive because it's on Steam. I think anytime you bring another game, whether it's within the same realm of a console, I mean, or your brand of consoles, I don't feel like it's that exclusive. I feel like this is a first-party game from Microsoft and the Coalition. They did a fantastic job. I think this is one of their best first-party games. Not exclusive to me. One of their best first-party games.
I mean, and that's all. I kind of quantify those as the same thing. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's also like, but like this is one of the better Microsoft first-party games that we've got in the past 5 years. Straight up.
Well,
it just is. Because I think that 5 is better than 4 by hands and feet. It really is.
And I literally said this. I'm like, shout out to the art team.
Mm-hmm.
Gears 5 is beautiful.
It's a gorgeous game.
I'm like, you guys really went sci-fi, but you really made this game deep.
I'd argue that blow for blow, up against Forza, it is the prettiest game that they've ever made.
Yes, that I agree.
Like Forza's pretty because it's cars and environments. This game is pretty because literally everything happening.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's all pretty.
Oh, right. Forza Horizon 4 is breathtaking, like none the least. And I think Gears 4 is their third best game because we didn't get. I think Halo 5 is their fourth. Is their fourth best game, but still, it's a beautiful game. I think not Gears 5. I think Halo 5 still got some beautiful cutscenes.
It does. It does have some beautiful cutscenes, but this game, it's got some of the best facial capture I've ever seen. Period.
Yes.
I don't know. The game is just pretty. The sound design is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It all looks good. The scene towards the end, where you're on the skiff and you're going through that desert that is also like literally a hellscape.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, oh my God, this is insane. And I love it. It was so pretty. It just worked. It looked so good.
The art made it a believable world. And I would not take that. Like, this is in my Game of the Year nomination. Like, I would not deny Gears at all.
Oh no, like this
is literally in my Game of the Year nomination.
This is Gears firing on all cylinders, and it's awesome. So yes. Yeah.
Well, we need to start.
Hey, that's all right.
We need to start